about languages and language learning and all sorts of other stuff, and we play games.
This is Elise with an update on the ongoing Inessa Armand translation project. We now have 37 of the 38 extant essays and speeches by Inessa Armand translated into English for the first time, and we are just short of the halfway mark on the fundraising progress as well. This enrichment of the English language Marxist canon has only been possible with your support, and it's been a real lifeline for me. So anyone who would like to support this project can find links in the description for how to do so, and everybody who has already supported it has my sincerest thanks.
Perfect. Okay, 3 of 4.
El hospital es...
漢検1級の先というのは、本当に誰も知らない字ばっかりでしょうね。私は
Okay, we've leveled up and it is time to pick another language. Mod för tröttare än vanligt. Maten är färdig. And let's see what we're doing when we get back. Greek! We're doing Greek when we get back. Ben neredeyse her gün okula giderim. Fun fact. Turkish. Hello, Shakespeare. How you doing? Fun fact, in Spanish, the word for bishop in chess is alfil. And that actually comes from Arabic. Fil. The same word fil as this. Meaning elephant, because the bishop traditionally was to represent elephant units somehow. Similarly, in Russian, the word for bishop is sword, and that also means elephant.
This is Elise with an update on the ongoing Inessa Armand translation project. We now have 37 of the 38 extant essays and speeches by Inessa Armand translated into English for the first time, and we are just short of the halfway mark on the fundraising progress as well. This enrichment of the English language Marxist canon has only been possible with your support, and it's been a real lifeline for me. So anyone who would like to support this project can find links in the description for how to do so, and everybody who has already supported it has my sincerest thanks.
Ça, c'est ça, que c'est ça, non ça, c'est ça. Sol chi sa che nulla sa, ne sa più di chi ne sa. Ecco.
Bonjour et bienvenue à Hyper Polyglotting avec Élise. Moi, c'est Élise, traductrice, éditrice et écrivain avec 20 ans de travail. Et ça, c'est la transmission en direct ou en jeu des jeux, surtout GeoGuessr en dernier temps. Et parle des langues, de la linguistique, de l'acquisition des langues.
10-159. Haven't made a huge dent in it, but we're getting there. Okay, gonna do some Chinese now. Nej. Man. Igen. Jo. 5. Ducks are drinking wine. Barbaz, okay, Barbaz is duck. Okay, I have now leveled up. Let's see what the XP situation is now. 10,340 out of 12,500. And as always, viewers can choose my next language for me just with a follow and a $5 to my Patreon.
Sotto le frasche del capanno 4 gatti grossi stanno. sotto quattro grossi sassi, quattro grossi e grassi gatti. Un généreux déjeuner régénéré, des généraux dégénérés. Un généreux déjeuner régénéré, des généraux dégénérés. Facile.
Sì, ecco, la gente, è la cosa che mi dice la gente, sempre che scoprisce che quante lingue parlo, io sempre avevo l'impressione, diciamo, di che non era così, non era tan così, ma poi, dopo di aver visto qualche poliglota in YouTube, una delle cose che avevo scoperte era giustamente che la metodologia usata da quella gente poliglota che non avevo mai conosciuta prima, era più o meno la stessa metodologia che usavo io.
I find a computer or what? And yeah, and here's another example. I like to point these out. For this word for or sounds vaguely like Hogun and the hok in Hogun in Korean or waku in Japanese, and that appears it is the exact same kind of character.
Okay, let me see.
Un chasseur sachant chasser, ses chassés sont son chien de chasse.
Der dicke Dach.
Okay, der dicke Dachdecker deckt dir dein Dach, drum dank dem dicken Dachdecker, dass der dicke Dachdecker dir dein Dach deckt.
Hola y bienvenidos al directo de Hyperpolyglotting with Elise. Yo soy Elisa, traductora, escritora y editora y comunicadora social con más de 20 idiomas de trabajo. Y aquí vamos a estar jugando videojuegos, sobre todo GeoGuessr, y hablando de idioma, la mejor forma de aprenderlo y caleta más.
Zwei Zwetschgenzweigen zwitscherten zwei tschechische Schwalben. Tres tristes tigres tragaban trigo en un trigal en tres tristes trastos.
Oh, I see. This is Diche Ishai Fui, which means do you want food? But yeah, are you hungry? That's also funny. How are the boys? Cine da boy. Posso Milao. Pote. Buenas proteine. Protoculo. In the designated chicken eating area, obviously.
Okay, still 3 times I have to defeat him. And I don't have a whole lot of health left.
This is Elise with an update on the ongoing Inessa Armand translation project. We now have 37 of the 38 extant essays and speeches by Inessa Armand translated into English for the first time. And we are just short of the halfway mark on the fundraising progress as well. This enrichment of the English language Marxist canon has only been possible with your support, and it's been a real lifeline for me. So anyone who would like to support this project can find links in the description for how to do so, and everybody who has already supported it has my sincerest thanks.
Monsieur. Livre. Liwe, livre.
Mustan kissan paksut posket.
Matěji.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Si. Vysoký. Matěji. Proč? Víte. Počkej. A. Si.
Track 6.
Aspri petra xes aspri apton ilio xexas proteri. Aspri petra xes aspri apton ilio xesas proteri.
En coginio panas.
Oh boy.
Ferad verda ferda vedri.
Jakob. Hefed.
Okay.
Hefed.
Okay.
Hefed. Hefed. Hek. Hek. Hek.
Саша по шоссе.
Саша по шоссе несла сушку на счастье и сосала сушку. Саша по шоссе несла сушку на счастье и сосала сушку.
Mwalimu.
This is Saturday. And it's from Muallim.
Juma ni mwalimu mke.
Ирак чима в чипах чемп чавю ченчи чини. Чирак чима в чипа да, чирак чима в чипцах чемп чавю ченчи чини. Бакакит альшит. Хикрин. Бакакит альши хикрин.
Oh, things speak cat sounds. Meow and the pictures of the fish. That's they were proud.
Sööpä. Kupu. Yrittävä. Uraista. Omena.
Are in the city center. And it's got some interesting aspects to it.
여자는 어느 나라에 있습니까? 여자는 어느 나라에 있습니까? 여자는 어느 나라에 있습니까?
Country is the living thing.
Hello and welcome to Hyperpolyglotting with Elise. I'm Elise, translator, writer, and editor with 20 working languages, and this is a stream where we're going to play some Civilization 6, apparently the game that I had been playing yesterday. I did not get saved somehow. I thought I had done a fast save and I was going to continue it, but that didn't happen. So we're starting a new one, and look at some advice on learning kanji from as I prepare for the Kanken 2級. So let's get started. How's everybody doing, chat? Okay, let's see.
Пантанал – наиболее сложная межтропическая аллювиальная равнина на планете. И, наверное, наименее изученная ее часть.
Not bad. Okay, I think I'm sticking my place here. Actually, no. Not exactly there. There we go. Покровка. And Brashniki. We get some slingers. Астрология, гончарное дело, горное дело, животноводство. Okay, there we go. Ah, hola Noyawara, ¿cómo estáis? Ah, qué lindo. Me encantan las tortuguitas. Yeah, I don't think you've ever made it to this one before. Good to see you. Войны. Okay. Not a lot going on just now. Ah, okay, here we go. Okay, we just got our asses kicked a little bit. Oh, we beat them up though. Я Гильгамеш из Шумерского царства, король Урука. Не бойтесь, я добр к своим друзьям. Не желаете посетить наш город, чтобы оценить наше гостеприимство? До свидания. I have it on Russian today. Okay, so we've met the Sumerians. Don't think I actually... Ah, that's a good start. There are tons of them, and... are you going by any particular system? Like, they are grouped according to frequency of use. You can, and actually, like, grade level as well in Japan. So that is one option to... Yeah, those are quite easy. I mean, because they always, well, virtually always are pronounced the same way. Ah, there we go. They almost, I got it. Let's see. Bit of healing first. Oh, he's back. Don't actually remember what difficulty level. Not familiar with it. Okay, well, we kicked the scout's ass. Cool. Bit of healing. In Japan, they have these, like, tests of kanji knowledge. There are 10 levels of them. The lowest level is 10, and the highest level is 1. Oh, yeah, that can be challenging, although there are a couple of cheats that you can use there. Because when you see them in compounds, they are somewhat more likely to be onyomi. Not always. I mean, there are plenty of exceptions to that. But you can be... I think there is a slightly higher probability, possibly significantly higher. Перед вами Харальд Сигурдсон, викинг, подобного которому не видели еще моря и земли. Ну, вам страшно? No. But when they're in compounds, they're somewhat more likely to be onyomi. If the next character... let me put... okay, not necessarily the next character, but within the within a few characters of the kanji, you have ru or u. Then there's a good chance that it's kunyomi.
Наверное, глина в руках умелого гончара бывает счастлива.
There we go, doing some pottery. Астрология, горное дело, письменность, мореходство. Горное дело, минерия.
Активный политический курс может принести немалую выгоду. Народ ждет вашего решения.
Закон устанавливается не мудростью, а приказанием.
Торговля. Yeah, when you see u and ru are the two endings that are the two types of verb endings there are. Дисциплина немножечко. Бог, царь. Yeah, if you see u or ru, then you're dealing with a verb almost certainly. Not always. There are exceptions, of course, like ahiru e un pato. Kaeru puede ser un verbo o puede ser una rana. Puede ser las dos weas. Okay, now we can fuck up these barbarians. Paciencia. We only just started. Though we'll be looking at that in, let's see, about 90 minutes. Yeah. I want to do Ikkyu, which is the one, like the difference between Nikyu, the level 2, and Ikkyu is, level 2 is already, like, that's already something of a flex. Apparently it is useful on a CV. And, I mean, as a language professional, I think, who works with Japanese, it's probably not a bad thing to have. But it is, like, it is largely kanji that you will be somewhat familiar with if you read a lot of books and stuff in Japanese. Ikkyu, which is the top level, on the other hand, that is the sort of kanji you would find if it is the end of days and the earth opens up in the middle of Shibuya intersection and a cube of flame comes up and written upon it is a riddle in ancient characters that must be solved in order to save humanity. Like, that is the kind of kanji that you find in top level. Yes, also. Yeah, you have to be able to read them, you have to be able to write them, you have to recognize, like, compounds and like, including, 4-character compounds, yojijukugo. Like, I could probably, even without studying, get a respectable score on level 2, because I read a lot in Japanese. And a lot of things well beyond sort of the standard characters that one gets in compulsory education. But level 1, is challenge. Level 1 is all sorts of characters people you never see. Or it's characters you're familiar with, but with extremely idiosyncratic readings that nobody uses. Like, really obscure shit. Я отправил к вам торговцев с рунными камнями. Они могущественные камни, не торговцы. Да, приветствую. Okay. Okay, fucked him up. I actually was in, I sort of rushed setting this up, so I did not see what difficulty level I'm in for here. But I'm pretty sure it can't have been easy mode because there are way more barbarians. I tried, like, max difficulty last night just to see what that's like. Because the thing about easy mode is that, like, the computer characters will declare war on you, except it's like they've just got a gym membership, so they declare war on you and then they don't do anything about it, and then you just go fuck them up and they start offering you money. And so I was curious if they ever get, like, any good at all at fighting. And it turns out, yeah, the answer is yes, actually. Certainly at max difficulty, they do know how to cause you problems. Like, they send you, like, 5 or 6 warriors or whatever to kick your ass. Whereas, like, on easy mode, you can go the whole time and they never engage you. There will be no fighting unless you start it, even though they're the ones who declared war. Oh, hello. Ah, nice. Just nicking shit off the barbarians. I was somewhat annoyed that I couldn't find the save from the game that I was playing on stream yesterday, because we were about to start the conquest of Theodore Roosevelt's US, so it's like Red Dawn with a happy ending. Yeah, this is definitely not easy mode. This number of barbarians, I think it must be default difficulty.
Большего доверия, чем жена угольщика.
Okay. Животноводство, письменность, астрология, колесо, мореходство. Животноводство. Un poco de ganadería. Porque todavía no tenemos ni una chacra, po.
Каждый народ живет обменом.
Kanji de go? What is it? I haven't heard of it. I'm curious. Мастерство. Обнаружен новый континент. Okay. Okay. Yes. I'm interested in knowing more. Ah, there we go. Salt. It says we discovered a new continent, but all I see is the continent we're already on. Is it a very small continent, perhaps? Oh, okay, we gotta go over here. Oh, I see. Yeah. It seems that the chat censored the link. Are you over on my Discord? If you're not, let me give you the link. If you drop the link in the Discord, I will put it up in chat. Новый аванпост варваров. Ah, bueno. Qué wea más bárbaro, bo. Oh, also available for Android. Cool. Live 配信。漢字を読み解くゲーム。あなたは難問できる。迫ってくる常識漢字や難読漢字をキーボードで答えるゲームです。キャンディーのキャラクターが表示されているエラーが出た場合、お問い合わせフォームにご一報ください。Okay, interesting. Dropping the link here for anyone who isn't in the Discord. But yeah, I mean, that sounds cool, actually. Ah, hell. Oh, wait. Can we just go in there? Yes! Ha. Yeah, the easiest way to get paid is to just keep attacking barbarians. Уничтожив, наконец, противника при помощи браши, вы осознали необходимость более мощного и дальнобойного оружия. Исследование технологий стрельбы из лука значительно продвинулось. Ускорение! Decided to actually watch Red Dawn the other night, the original one, because I'm thinking of doing like a video on it, and wow, it sucked. But the weirdest thing about it is that somehow this US Hollywood film from the 80s where the baddies speak either Spanish or Russian. The Russian was better than the Spanish. I mean, the Russian wasn't good, I should be clear, but the Spanish sucked. The Spanish was, like, amazingly bad. Like, at one point, I love this. At one point towards the end of the movie, one of the baddies is supposed to be saying ceasefire. And guess how he says that in Spanish? The most just absolutely embarrassingly bad way you could think of to say it. He actually yells, "Dejen de tirar!" Which means stop fucking. Dejen de tirar. Así lo dice, bo. Yeah, no, any of those would have been better. I mean, it just, like... it's like the casting for the thing was boycotted by Spanish speakers, and I can certainly understand why. Since, like, literally everybody who... Okay, everybody who isn't, like, a corn-fed white person in the movie is either a baddie or gets shot in the first 5 minutes of the thing. But somehow, there are at least a few scenes where the Russian is decent. There is never a single scene where the Spanish is good. I just don't get that, because Russian would be way harder to cast in the 1980s. In fact, like, there are so many movies in the 80s with Russian characters and horrible Russian. Новое задание от города государства. Dejen de tirar! Stop fucking! I'm gonna have to clip that. I don't know, there's gotta be a use for it someplace. Монумент, торговец, брашники, разведчики войны. At one point, one of the other baddies, who's supposed to be Cuban, he's talking about all the places he's been. and he refers to having been to Angolia. Like, somehow, how the hell do you get the Spanish for Angola wrong? It is the same. Yeah, it's like a third of this country, fully a third, is native Spanish speakers. That is way higher percentage than there are, like, French speakers in Canada, for example, where they never have trouble finding French speakers for movies, as far as I can tell. Except for one weird case, which is a movie that I actually quite like, called Bon Cop, Bad Cop, where it's supposed to be this Quebecois cop and this Ontario cop are teaming up. Buddy cop film. It's quite funny. But, I mean, the Ontario cop, for the purpose of the thing, has to be able to speak French. That is one of the requirements of the character, and it turned out the actor they got for that role is from the States. It's like... So... yeah, they're produced in California. You'd think you could get, like, at least somebody... Dejen de tirar! Военная традиция. But then again, how many times have they had Baskunyan play Maputungun speaker? Yeah, that is true. I mean, it also features... I mean, it's a remarkably bad movie in so many other ways, though. I mean, just the writing. Like, Patrick Swayze plays the leader of this, like, guerrilla resistance against the Soviet, Cuban, Mexican, Salvadoran occupation. And he is an expert in guerrilla tactics on the strength of... This is literally how this is explained in the movie. He played high school football. Pfft. Wow. Oh, good. I was worried I was about to lose my first archer before actually getting to use my first archer. Yeah, so I'm working on a video on that turd monster of a movie. It's like, I have to actually like write the thing, but I like to keep those promotions handy because you get health back with them. So, and it's an instant heal.
Оценивать военные традиции, но те, кто ведет войну в рабской зависимости от установленных правил, проиграют.
Somewhere around here. Ah, there we go. Hello. There we go. It's always handy to have a barbarian set up a base near you because you can get paid. There we go. Oh, we've already got another one. Let's see, now I can use that promotion and I get an instant heal. Выберите пантеон. Речная богиня, памятник богам, госпожа Тростника и Топьей. Бог моря. Бог моря. Наш пантеон. Поклоняясь своему пантеону богов, народ начал задаваться мыслями о божественных силах в этом мире. Ah, son dos. Ya son dos, weón. Ok, perfecto.
Недавно мы открыли секрет планирования городов. Проще и прибыльнее создавать целые районы, а не обычные улучшения, вроде обычных ферм и рудников.
Писать это легко. Нужно только вычеркивать лишние слова.
Орошение, колесо, деньги, астрология, верховая езда, бронза. Okay.
Владыка, в нашем распоряжении есть посол, который поможет завоевать расположение города-государства. Хорошие отношения с соседями принесут большую...
Я люблю повторять, что исповедую воинствующий мистицизм. Я абсолютно уверен в существовании некоторых вещей, которых не знаю.
Окей, ранняя империя. Трудовая повинность. Трудовая повинность. Окей. Аппетито. Ah, there we go. Okay, now we got two of them. Oh, we still got two of them. Okay. How long have you been working on Japanese? Wait, oh, we got a new one already? Okay, neat. Well, let's heal first. What part of Japan? Oh, that's not what I was trying to do. Ah. Never been that far west. I was in Nagoya as an exchange student in the 1990s. Visited Kyoto, but other than that, I mean, basically Nagoya is all the Japan I've seen. Oh hell, now they're gonna get the payday off of that one. Whatever the pink city-state is, what is that? Mohenjo-daro. Damn. Well, there's another one here someplace. Ah, well there isn't for the moment. Okay, that's fine. They seem to be popping up with some regularity. I've heard that. I've been wanting to get back for years, but it's never on the way. I always go to places that are sort of on the way to other places, and Japan's never on the way to anywhere else that I go. So, as a result, I've just never gotten back. I want to change that, though. To do the kanken 1級, I basically would have to go there. Because, like, the 2級and below, you can do online. From anywhere. But 1級, you actually have to go to a testing site. Kanyu hodai.
Я хочу создать долговечное наследие. Бронза сохраняется тысячелетиями.
Мореходство. Although really, I don't have a coastal city yet. Need to change that, I think. I have not heard what the pass rate. I can find out real quick what the pass rate is, but I would not be surprised if that's true. It is, like, because it is seriously the most obscure shit ever. Kanken 1級合格率。じゃあ here we go. The official... Okay, here we go. 1級 Okay, 2024年度受験データ。1級志願者数。Okay, so for level 1, there were 933 people who took it. Oh, who applied for it. 843 who actually took it. 50 who passed, for a pass rate of 5.9%. There's also Junikyu, which is sort of an intermediate level between 1 and 2. and that had 5,246 people who applied, 4,739 who took it, 1,219 who passed, for a pass rate of 25.7%. Actually, I mean, even level 2, which is a major drop-off in difficulty from level 1, it was only 26.4% who passed it. So, it's not 1%, but it's not too far from it, yeah. Bentornata. Yeah, only, well, the 800, I mean, the level 1 is, like, if you tell people in Japan you're considering taking level 1, like, telling people you're considering taking it already is a flex. It was like, oh, すごいな。そんなことやってやりきりねえよ。Yeah, I would like to do EQ. Just for the hell of it. And, I mean, it's a flex. I mean, and as a translator, working with Japanese, I mean, being able to point to that probably is not, you know, it's a bit of a distinction. Well, considering that only 500 people in 1 year actually managed to... Wait, no, it wasn't 500. 50 people in all of Japan last year actually passed it. So, yeah. A bit of a distinction probably does not hurt, because I would like to get more clients in Japan. I mean, plus Japanese Japanese is a reasonably good paying language. I'm trying to get more of them. Get more, like, Japanese language work. Plus, I just like Japanese. It's a fun language to speak. Okay, apparently there are more barbarians around, but I don't...
Крепкая экономика начинается с крепкой, хорошо обученной рабочей силы.
Okay, Ранняя империя. I hadn't actually been thinking of Anki. There are a couple of study guides that are recommended. In fact, the Kanken people actually put these out. And there's one called the Kanken Jiten. And it's basically, it is a guide. It's like all of the kanji that they might actually test on. Group, you know, frequency, compounds that are in them, all sorts of stuff. It's very highly recommended. So I want to get that. And I'm just watching YouTube videos, like, there's a whole YouTube universe of, like, kanji otaku. Like, in Japan, people are just obsessive about kanji. And, like, actually take the level 1 and talk about it and stuff. And so I'm watching their stuff too to see what they say about it. I mean, one of the things, I was just watching one last night, and, like, the thing about EQ is that, like, if you even want to look up the words that they will test you on, the IME pad, the Microsoft Japanese IME, will not give you these characters. Like, it will give you, if you put in the reading, like tatsu, it will give you like 30, 40 characters. The one that you actually are looking for that's on the EQ is not amongst them. You have to go to the IME pad and look it up by the radical. That's how weird and rare and obscure the characters are for EQ. Which is why there's a very low pass rate, because nobody's looking at this shit in their daily life. I mean, unless you're reading, like, the classics or something like that. But, like, with Nikyu, the samples I've seen, it has often been words that I've read in novels and like legal texts and things like that. Actually, yesterday, if you look at yesterday's stream on the VOD, the second half of it, there was, we looked at a video from a guy who runs a juku, cram school, and he was talking about the method he advises for learning kanji. And what he was talking about is you select 10 at a time, and then you write them only 3 times each, with the reading next to them. So, and then you go back, you hide the characters, you go from the reading to the character and see if you can, kakitori, you can write it based on the reading. And if you can't, then you do it over a couple of times. And then you take a break for 2 days, don't look at those characters again, go back and just test yourself on them and see if you've got them still. Yeah, I mean, I was looking at some old tests of the ikkyu, and one of them was the kanji that is... It's interesting because some of these kanji are actually very common in Chinese, but utterly rare in Japanese. Like the normal kanji for... The normal character for ki in Chinese... which also means key in Japanese, but nobody uses it. You use a completely different character for it in Japanese. Totally different word. But, yeah. But that was one of them. And it was very hard to actually find what the even Japanese reading for it even was. Because it is basically not used in Japanese. Okay. Paciência. Yeah, he was saying, I mean, the way that these things are often taught in Japan is they will have students write them over and over again, like 100 times or whatever. And the trouble is, after 5 or 6 times, you are not paying any attention to it. Your brain is not involved in the process. Я Мвемба Айзинга. Я приветствую вас как друга. Я вижу, что Господь благословил вас. Вы здесь, чтобы поделиться Его светом? Большая честь познакомиться с вами. Обменяться информацией о столицах – отличная идея. Пойдет на пользу торговле. Like, I mean, and there are also, like, kanji quizzes on YouTube. And you can look at, like... They will quiz the kind of... the sort of kanji that show up in, like, Kanken 2 級 and it is hard stuff. Like, I will say, there were some that I could read. But most of them were, and there were a bunch that I could guess, because there are phonetic elements you can use to guess as to at least the onyomi. But lots of them that I had never seen before. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit of a bio break. I will be back in just a couple of minutes.
Hi. and welcome to Hyperpolyglotting with Elise. I am Elise, translator, editor, and writer with 20 working languages, and this is where we talk about languages and language learning and all sorts of other stuff, and we play games.
This is Elise with an update on the ongoing Inessa Armand translation project. We now have 37 of the 38 extant essays and speeches by Inessa Armand translated into English for the first time. And we are just short of the halfway mark on the fundraising progress as well. This enrichment of the English language Marxist canon has only been possible with your support, and it's been a real lifeline for me. So anyone who would like to support this project can find links in the description for how to do so, and everybody who has already supported it has my sincerest thanks.
Perfect. Okay, 3 of 4.
El hospital.
漢検1級の先というのは、本当に誰も知らない字ばっかりでしょうね。私は
Okay, we've leveled up and it is time to pick another language. Morfar är tröttare än vanligt. Maten är färdig. And let's see what we're doing when we get back. Greek. We're doing Greek when we get back. Ben neredeyse her gün okula giderim. Fun fact. Turkish. Hello, Shakespeare. How you doing? Fun fact, in Spanish, the word for bishop in chess is alfil. And that actually comes from Arabic. Fil. The same word fil as this. Meaning elephant, because the bishop traditionally was to represent elephant units somehow. Similarly, in Russian, the word for bishop is squab, and that also means elephant. Okay.
This is Elise with an update on the ongoing Inessa Armand translation project. We now have 37 of the 38 extant essays and speeches by Inessa Armand translated into English for the first time, and we are just short of the halfway mark on the fundraising progress as well. This enrichment of the English language Marxist canon has only been possible with your support, and it's been a real lifeline for me. So anyone who would like to support this project can find links in the description for how to do so, and everybody who has already supported it has my sincerest thanks.
Ça, c'est ça, ça, che c'est ça, non ça, c'est ça, sol chi sa che nulla sa, ne sa più di chi ne sa. Ecco.
Bonjour et bienvenue à Hyperpolyglotting avec Elise. Moi, c'est Elise, traductrice, éditrice et écrivain avec 20 ans de travail. Et ça, c'est la transmission en direct ou en jeu déjà. Surtout GeoGuessr en dernier temps. Et parle des langues, de la linguistique, de l'acquisition des langues.
10-159. Haven't made a huge dent in it, but we're getting there. Okay, gonna do some Chinese now. Nej. Nej. Man. Igen. Jo. 5. Ducks are drinking wine. Bakva, okay, Bakvas is duck. Okay, I have now leveled up. Let's see what the XP situation is now. 10,340 out of 12,500. And as always, viewers can choose my next language for me just with a follow and a $5 to my Patreon.
Sotto le frasche del capanno 4 gatti grossi stanno. Sotto 4 grossi sassi, 4 grossi e grassi gatti. Un généreux déjeuner régénéré des généraux dégénérés. Un généreux déjeuner régénéré des généraux dégénérés. Facile. Sì, ecco, la gente è la cosa che mi dice la gente, sempre che scoprisce che quante lingue parlo. Io sempre avevo l'impressione, diciamo, di che non era così, non era tan così, ma poi dopo di aver visto qualche poliglota in YouTube, una delle cose che avevo scoperte era giustamente che la metodologia usata da quella gente,
Okay, and I'm back, and we're gonna change gears, and we're gonna look at some of this kanji stuff we've been talking about. First of all, I'm curious about this game that Johan was talking about. Okay, 文字入力ができる状態で、漢字で語初回チュートリアル、音量設定、遊び方説明、問題の制限時間の順に開きます。Okay. Kaku course kyotsu. Okay, this looks interesting. Gonna have to check this out more. But for now, let's see. 熟語の構成。漢検2級の過去問に載ってる問題45問を一挙解決。ほぼ常用漢字。Okay, we have Kanji no Kami-san, who does a whole thing about like about kanji and the kanken. I was looking at some of his stuff last night. I'm gonna check this out. This is Kanken Zenkyu de Yakudatsu Goi Ryoku o Manabe, learning vocabulary that is useful for all levels of the kanken.
Hey, どうもこんにちは、さんです。ということ
Okay, let me just drop the link in chat for anyone who wants to check it out. It's Kanji no Kami-san. And he has some sort of very cute cat behind him.
でも前回の漢字検定から、3ヶ月4ヶ月もうあっという間に経ちましたね。で、もう6月にもなって、2週間後に漢字検定控えているというような状況でございますけども、皆さん勉強の方はいかがでしょうか。はかどっておりますでしょうか。僕は正直何とも言えない。 前回の動画でもですね、お話しした
Okay, so this is apparently 2 weeks before the next kanji kente.
通り、6月14に、日本語検定1級と、その次の日に漢字検定準1級と1級同時受験、ダブル受験をするんですけども、漢字検定の方はね、今まで通りの勉強を続けているので、もしかしたら大丈夫なんじゃないかなといったところではあるんですけども、日本語検定の方はもう初受験ということもあって、過去もやってはいるんですけども、正直どういった対策をしていけばいいのかっていうのがちょっとあんまりつかめてないんですよね、今のところ。漢字検定の方は、1級に関して言うと、ずっともうこの直近が近い毎回受けてるので、ある程度傾向と対策をしながらね、つかめてはきてはいるんですけども、準1級もめっちゃ久しぶりなのと、日本検定1級は本当に初受験なので、なんかどっちも問題の内容がね、変わってるんじゃないかと。漢字検定だってそうですよね。漢字検定というかもうなんか語彙力検定と揶揄されるぐらいの、本当前回の R6 の3とか、常用漢字で構成されている熟語がすごい問われたりとかですね、1級の漢字の知識を詰め込んでおけば事足りるというようなことではないので、もう本当に幅広い言葉ですとか漢字の知識が問われているっていうような、本当そんな印象ですよね。で日本語検定の方も、やっぱり過去問とかをやってる感じ、かなり語彙力結構難しいところを問われているような印象があってですね、別にそっちは日本語検定だったらいいんだけど、語彙力を問うというところでは、漢字検定も日本語検定も本当に結構通ずるものがあるんじゃないか。
So okay, to just summarize, he's saying in both cases, whether you're taking the Japanese language proficiency test or the kanji kente, it is very much about vocabulary.
ないかなというところで、やっぱり漢字検定1級の勉強をしていると、日本語検定1級の方でも結構解けたりとか生きてくる知識っていうのはやっぱりあるんですよね。とはいえ今の漢字検定1級とか準1級とかだと、もう本当に漢字の知識もそうだし、慣用句、ことわざ、イディオムとか、本当その辺の語彙力っていうのが非常に大事になってくるということでですね、今回はもうタイトルにもある通り、語彙力強化の動画にしたいと思って、最近僕が漢字検定1級とか準1級を勉強する中で出会った、主に常用漢字で構成されているイディオムっていうのをちょっと紹介していきたいなと思います。これ今回常用漢字。
Okay, so these are compounds, idioms that are formed primarily with what are called joyo kanji, which is a term, if you're familiar with kanji at all, then you will probably be familiar with this. Joyo means like common use, general use. And this is a group of kanji established by the Ministry for Education that are in common use. They're the ones you'll find in books and newspapers. You'll find them basically everywhere.
絞った理由としては、さっきも言った通り、前回の漢字検定1級とかでも、今は常用漢字での、なんかこうね、言葉がね、問われまくってるということで、例えば前回で難しいところだと、公職を盛んにするの公職とか、手紙文でも。
Actually, I'm gonna turn these subs off because it's interfering. I can't see the titles he's putting up here. 証拠いたしりけり。
用いられる証拠。あと、陰訳の管理とか拒否を要するとか、結構漢字自体は簡単なんだけども、言葉を知らなくて苦戦したっていう人がね、やっぱり多くいらっしゃったと思うので、もしかしたら次の漢字検定もそういった傾向続くんじゃないかなという予想で、今回は僕らも独断と偏見で、こういった問題が出るんじゃないかとか、出たらいいなとか、自分がちょっと勉強してきたものをこの場を借りてアウトプットも兼ねてですね、ちょっと皆さんにも共有できたらと思っております。で、本当に今回は主に常用漢字だけで構成されているような言葉っていうのをご紹介していくんですけども、たまにちょっと例外あるかもしれないけど、そういった言葉たちを紹介していくので、1級受ける人でも準1級受ける人でも、日本語検定を受ける人でももしかしたらお役に立てるような内容にはなるんじゃないかなと思います。多分漢字検定を受ける僕
I'm gonna skip over this.
死語を伴う。
Okay, let's see. He's got sort of a long introduction here. So here we go. 背景はごめん。
気にしないでください。ということで、早速やってみましょう。
ああ。かわいい。
ということで、いくつ紹介するかとか、ちょっと厳密にはまだ決めてないんですけども、とにかく紹介したいだけします。まずね、こちらの言葉、後問うということ。
後問う。なんか、行方を尋ねる。平家さん。Okay. 死後を弔う。Okay. Oh, this is... see, I mean, this is very, you wouldn't call it specialized vocabulary, but it's vocabulary that will spiff up your writing quite seriously, because it is unusual. Atotou. I've never heard this phrase before. So the first definition, yukue o tazuneru. So it is like asking where somebody's gone off to. And the source, one of the interesting things about Japanese dictionaries is they will actually, for like kanji compounds, a lot of the time they will tell you the source where they were first used. And in this case, it's Heike Monogatari, which is an epic from nearly 1,000 years ago, about the fall of some kingdom. Atoto. And then the second one is to like mourn somebody. Shigo tomura onozukara no korite. Atoto hito mo sasuga aru ramedo. Like literally these both of these example sentences are in classical Japanese. That is
言葉から紹介していきます。あとですね、こちら、足跡の後に訪れる。で、こういうようなうと書いて、
This ato, it's worth noting. Ato can be written a number of ways. There's the way that you might be most familiar with, which means after. But there's also ato, as in like the footprints or the marks left by something. And that is the ato we are talking about here. Like kizu ato, which is like a scar. Ashi ato, which is footprints and stuff like that. So, atoto is that kind of ato.
意味としては、行方を尋ねるとか、死後を弔うっていう意味があります。これ、準1級以上勉強している人がご存知のことかもしれないんですけども、訪れるに送るような。
Yeah, 訪れる, which is, that is this kanji. Yeah, I mean, it's really great with Japanese dictionaries. You can get a real sense of how commonly used something is by how recent the example sentences are. Like, I had this idea for something I was thinking of doing on this channel. Yeah, exactly. Footprints, hoof prints, any kind of prints, any kind of mark left by a thing that happened. Is just, I have the Kojien, which is like the Japanese Oxford English Dictionary. It's like the Japanese Duden, or, you know, la Rai japonesa, más o menos. And I was thinking of just like flipping to random pages, finding interesting words and introducing them, and doing like a series of videos that is just that. And a lot of the time, the interesting ones are when you actually look them up. I looked up one of them, and it's like literally all the example sentences are in classical Japanese.
うと書いて、大人うとか、問うっていう風に読むんですね。これ意味としては尋ねるっていう、この大人
聞いたことも見たこともねえわ。
が持ってる意味、そのままで考えてもらって大丈夫なんですけども、この問うとか大人うっていうのは読みでも書きでも結構ね、狙われやすいんじゃないかなと思います。で、僕が知らなかったのは、これに、後っていう漢字がつくと、後問うっていう、そういった言葉ができて、行方を尋ねるとか、死後を弔う。死後を弔うっていうのがね、すごいなと思いましたけど、そんな言葉があるんだって感じで、問うとか大人うだけだったら、わかるかもしれないけど。
I mean, and what's really cool about kanji compounds is you get some very, very specific meanings there. I mean, sometimes, you get really, really specific terms. Like, there is komo, that is kokoro miru ko, kobo, kokoro miru ko, and then nozomu bo, right? And what that means is to look around indecisively. That was the first, when I had this idea of just like looking for random words in the Kojien and introducing them. That was the first one that I happened upon it, and it's like, that is very specific because the first character means to try something out. And the second character can mean to hope, but it also means to gaze at something. So it is like trying, it is trial gazing. It is, you're trying out looking at something. And the definition is like looking around, thinking about it, and you never take any decisive action.
後って言葉がつくことによって、 この塔が何の塔なのかが分かんなくなるとか、ちょっとね、こう目くらまし的に使われる可能性もあるんじゃないかなと思ったので、ちょっと紹介させていただきました。後塔ね、これ結構難しい言葉だと思います。
Yeah, he says he thinks that that is quite a difficult word, and I would tend to agree. Like, I've never seen that. I did not know that to was a reading for the second kanji there. I've seen otozureru, tazuneru, also, but not to. But that makes sense though, because to, written differently means to ask about something, to inquire about something. Normally it is written with the kanji for mo, like gakumon, nyumon. 入門じゃないの。
どんどんね、次行きましょう。次が、脅しゃをかける。
脅しゃをかける。脅しゃ ?OK 。脅しゃをかけると、硬直した死体も和らぐというところから、お世辞を言うなどして相手の心を和らげる。Okay, 脅しゃをかける. Okay, this is a way of saying to, like, kiss somebody's ass. It literally means, like, 脅しゃって. Yeah. Okay, now I have to find out what, I mean, 脅しゃ, I mean, part of that kanji, it means, like, the sand of the path or something like that, but there's this o at the beginning, which is an honorific, odosha. So I'm curious, what the hell does that actually mean? Okay, odosha. 密教で行う土砂火事に用いる洗い Okay. It is white sand for ritualistic use, basically. Oh, mikkyo te. Yeah, it is white sand that is, like, blessed. It is like the holy water of sand, basically. So there is this belief, or used to be this belief, that if you took this sand and put it on a dead body that had hardened, it would soften. And so, because of that, 脅しゃをかける ends up having a metaphorical meaning that if you, like, kiss somebody's ass, you can soften their heart, essentially.
けるですね、こちら。脅しゃ。脅しゃをかけるっていうのが、こちらがお世辞を言ったりして、相手の心を和らげる、おべっかを使う。
Like, okay, this is, once again, never heard this. Never heard this phrase before. I'm going to have to use it. I mean, that's a great phrase. I just love the origin of it. I have no idea when I'm going to get a chance to use it, but, I mean...
これもともと脅しゃっていうのが、密教で行う土砂火事に用いる、洗い清めた白砂ということで、何のことかさっぱりですね。一応ちょっとこれ辞書的にはなんですけども、死体にこの脅しゃっていうのをかけると、その硬直した死体も和らぐということ、埋葬に使ってたのかな、そういったところから、相手の心を和らげるっていう、そういった意味に転じたみたいですね。
Yeah, so it means to try to soften somebody up by kissing their ass, basically. Hi, River Rune! Okay, and he says that this seems like the sort of thing that they might expect you to be able to write on Ikkyu level 1.
これもね、出るとしたら漢字検定1級とかでこういうのね、結構出そうな気がするんですよ。カタカナで脅しゃだけ出てきたら。
Yeah, see, this is one of the things that they do in the kanji kente. They will give you the reading in katakana, and you have to come up with the right kanji for it. In this case, miyasudokuro no mi no o, tsuchi no do, suna no sha. 脅しゃをかけてその気にさせる to make somebody decide to do something by, again, kissing their ass.
ちょっと面食らいません？なんとなく僕の印象なんですけども、関係さんちょっとそういうのね、好きそうな気がするので、おどしはこれ、漢字だけ見たら、どしゃにちょっと丁寧語のおがついてるだけなんですけども、カタカナとかでこう問われたらちょっと。
Yeah, I mean, the thing about when you see that o in kanji, because that is the o as of omae or otearai, or, you know, it's the honorific o. When you see that in kanji, often that indicates that it is something like traditional, religious, or like imperial. Not always. I mean, there are many cases where that doesn't happen, but you will see it. The more you see it in kanji, it is almost certainly something very traditional or like something to do with like the imperial household or something.
気がします。これもね、僕は勉強してて、こんなのがあるんだ。で、しかも意味としても分かりづらいというか、文字からは連想しにくい。だこういうところ結構問われたりするのかな。
Yeah, I mean, like that one, you could not guess. I mean, here's what's challenging about that one especially. Because the literal meaning is useless. Like, if you were going from the literal meaning, you would never get that one right. And it's not a very common expression. I mean, I've never heard it. He doesn't seem to have heard it before. But, I mean, because literally what it means is to take ritually blessed white sand and put it on something. Like, unless you know about this history of this, like, ancient tradition around the blessed white sand, you would never have, and the belief that it would soften a hardened corpse, apparently, you would never be able to get that. Yeah. Well, no, sometimes you pronounce it mi. And there's also gyo. Sometimes it will be gyo. A lot of older words it is pronounced mi, like in Miyasudokoro, which shows up a lot in Genji Monogatari. That is also this o.
思いましたので、おべっかを使うおどしゃをかけるという言葉、ぜひこちらもちょっと覚えておきましょう。続いてですね、ほろみそ売りの夕立ちということで。
Okay, ほろみそ売りの夕立ち。ほろみそ。Okay, 味噌は味噌汁の店だけど、ほろみそってなんだ？Okay. 夕立ち。Okay. 乾燥したほろみそは、メッキを嫌うことから、物が傷むのを気遣うことの例え。Okay. So there's a specific kind of miso that is dried. And because of that, it does not, it does not respond well to humidity. That is horo miso. And so the idea, this is a metaphor that means to take into account that something might be painful. Okay, like again, you can spend a long time connected with the Japanese language and reading actually fairly complicated things with obscure words in them and never see this. Like, these are all like all of these are like $50 words basically.
ほろみそですね。ほろみそこれ結構。
I mean, this is like quoting like the Spanish equivalent would be like quoting Gongora from memory.
読めないですよね。でもまずほろみそというのが焼き味噌。
Okay, 焼き味噌にごま、甘の実、くるみ、山椒などを切り混ぜて乾燥したなめ味噌。Ja, also ich weiß überhaupt nicht, was das heißt.
本当にごま、麻の実、くるみ、山椒などを混ぜて、乾燥したなめ味噌ということで、こちら、ほろ味噌売りの夕立という。
Or even like el libro del buen amor. Like not even gongora. Like really.
と技だと、物が傷むのを気遣うことの例えという意味になるんですね。まずこのほろ味噌というのが、乾燥している味噌になるんですけども、湿気を嫌うというところから、ほろ味噌売りが夕立が降ってきた時に乾燥したほろ味噌が傷んじゃうっていうのが嫌だから、これは転じて物が傷むのを気遣う例えっていう意味になったんじゃないかなと思います。
Yeah, exactly. I mean, because a lot of this stuff, a lot of these terms, like, that they are expressions that come from, like, 1,000 or 1,500 years ago.
これやっぱり語彙としても難しいですし、ほろ味噌っていう言葉、これを書けるかどうかで、なかなかね、もう書けないというか、ほうろう味噌だよね、普通に。
Yeah, I mean, he's pointing out, like, the kanji that are used to write horomiso, you would never, I mean, this is actually an unconventional reading of those two. Normally, that would be read horo miso. Because the first character is ho as in law, and the second is ron as in like theory. So horon miso, like legal theory miso. Miso as in the soup. Like already that part is already something where, like, I would have failed on that. If I was given, like, okay, like, to write that out, I already would have failed because I would have said horon miso and wondered what the hell that even means. This is probably, like, kanji that were, you know, ateji. Like, they phonetically applied certain kanji that sounded close to it. It is, yeah. Yeah, when you see these triangles in Japanese dictionaries next to a kanji, it means it's either an obscure kanji or it is an obscure reading. Sí, el cantar del mio sí. Buen ejemplo. 焼き味噌を乾燥させ、ごま、くるみ、山椒の実などを細かく刻んで混ぜた食品。売りの夕立、物を損なうことを恐れる。Okay, because that was the second problem. 売りの夕立. Like, uri is like selling, the act of selling. Yudachi means like standing at night. And that, okay, mono sokonau koto o osoreru koto. Which means like being afraid of ruining something or losing it.
はずなので、全然ね、問われてもおかしくないことわざかなと思います。ぜひこちらもちょっと覚えてみてください。続いてですね、次第空にキスということで、
次第空にキス。次第空にキス。To return to the four great spaces or heavens or emptinesses. 肉体が滅びる。死ぬ。Okay, this means for the body to decay or to die. 次第のすべての次第空にキス。変な表現だよこれ。
ですね。こちら意味は肉体が滅びる、死ぬ、ぶっこするっていうことですね。じゃあぶっこっていうのを死ぬっていう。
ぶっこ。人が死ぬこと。死去。9月23日に
なんですけども、まずこの次第空にキスの次第っていうのがこれめちゃくちゃ面白くて、これまず仏教の
Okay. So 次第仏を万物の構成要素とされる地、水、火、風の4つの元素。Okay, so in Buddhist terminology, it is the four elements of which all things are made. So earth, water, fire, wind. に 1から構成されるとするところから、人間の肉体。道教で、日、天、地、王融合。So, okay, so it means like the four elements in two. Well, there are two different types of four elements that it can be, depending whether it's used in Taoism and it's used in Buddhism, and then it can also mean just the human body, the physical body.
言葉なんですけども、万物の構成要素とされる地、水、風、火の4つの元素のことですね。これらの元素から構成されるというところで、転じて人間の体を意味する言葉になっています。なので、漢検1級を受けている人とかだとご存知かもしれませんが、ご選択の書き取りっていう問題があって、問題に言葉の意味が
極めて優れた才能、またその持ち主。
書いてあって、で、語源にひらがなが書いてあって、そのひらがなから一つ選んで、意味に合うものを漢字に書き直して提出しましょうっていう、そういう問題があるんですけども、例えば意味のところに人間の体って書いてあって、で、語源のところにいろんな言葉がひらがなにされたら、
筋肉、脅者、次第。
なんかこう、すごい羅列してるんですけども、その中に次第って言葉があったら、それを4つの題っていう風に漢字に書き直して提出しなきゃいけない。
Yeah, literally the four bigs.
まさしく語彙力を測るための問題があるんですよ。で、ご選択書き取りの問題のいやらしいところは、
Yeah, I mean, and so he's just coming back to the, like, this is very much about vocabulary and, like, the sort of weird-ass vocabulary, just extremely obscure vocabulary that you need in order to do well on this thing.
過去の問題にも、人が寝静まる時刻で選択肢、人情っていうのがあったんですけども、この人情っていうのは人が定まるって書いて人情なんですね。漢字だけ見たら一見で出てくる問題とは思えないんですけども、誰が知ってんのこのことはみたいな。
Yeah, he says a lot of these things. It's like stuff where you would look at it and it's like, who the fuck knows this?
もうそういった語彙的な難しさを今の漢検さんも本当についてくるということで、全然この試合って言葉も漢検1級では問われかねないような語彙なんです。
Yeah, he says this is the sort of thing you would probably see on the IQ, the level 1. And yeah, because it's obscure as hell, and if you're going strictly on the literal meaning, you will not get anywhere with it. I mean, you might have something. I mean, the fact that it kisu, which is like to return. Shidai ku ni kisu. So the body returns to the void. That's what it is. It's not shidai ku ni kisu. It's shidai ku ni kisu. Yeah, I mean, actually, you'd probably, if you know ku ni kisu, you'd probably have a chance at it just because that sounds like it might be a word for dying, which is what it is.
私が脱線しちゃったんですけども、次第が空にキスということで、こちら人体が空にキス、空に変えるということなので、お亡くなりになるとか。
I have the Manyoshu someplace. I have a paperback edition of it someplace. I've actually been working my way gradually through Genji Monogatari, but it's the Gendaiaku. Because I have to say, when I'm not really flash with like classical Japanese. I can kind of get through the old bungotai when it's used for like legal purposes and stuff like that. That is actually something I'm kind of working on, especially because I noticed that Ikkyu uses a lot of example sentences that are classical.
その天にね、召されるみたいな。
こんにちは。
ということですよね。なので今回の
これは漢検全級で役立つ語彙力を学べという漢字の神さんの動画なんです。本当に面白いもんですからお楽しみください。リンクはチャットに入れておきますから。I've been watching. I found this guy last night. I was just looking for stuff to watch after the evening stream, and I found some videos of his, and they were quite good. So I thought I'd check to see what else he did.
もう次第空に帰すっていうことは自体難しさ的にもそうなんですけども、次第っていうこと、漢字がね、もうどっちも小学1年生で習うような感じですので、今の関係はこういうところもしっかり。
次第 I would look at that and assume that it was 四国大学 which I'm not sure if there is a 四国大学 but 存在しかりないもんだろう。
やってくるんだよっていうところもちょっと含めてご紹介させていただきました。むしろ次第の方を今回メインでちょっと紹介したかったぐらいなんで。
I mean, the vocabulary, I don't know how long you've been watching Language Mania, but the sort of terms, he's going through these sorts of vocab that he thinks is probably quite likely to show up in the top levels of the kanken, the kanji kente. And it is such obscure stuff. It is like, I have never heard of it, he has never heard of it, and he is a kanji otaku, sort of. 悪いけどね。
これもね、ちょっと覚えてみてください。で、続いてこちらですね。反証のローということで。
反証。OK。棚心を返すこと。物事がたやすくできること。反証のロを惜しむ。Okay. So this is literally it refers to like flipping over your hand essentially. Han as in the opposite or against, contralateral. Sho tenohira. So it's like flipping it, and what it means apparently, and I love this. I'm going to have this is a great one. It means like work that is as easy as flipping your hand, essentially. And the example it gives is Hanshou no ro o oshimu, which means like you don't want to fucking lift a finger. It's somebody who begrudges even the slightest effort.
こちら意味としてはたやすいことですね。これ僕今知ったんですけども、この章ってあれなんですね。3級の漢字なんですね。3級だと章っていう。
Okay, so this is something. This is a kanji that you would find in Sankyu, the level 3 test. Tenohira tanagokoro. Tanagokoro. 初耳だね。司る。司るって意味はあるんですね。受け持つ、務め、焦点、職所、担う、また、捧げる。Okay. See, you can see on here, when in the green it says Sankyu. That means that's the test that you would find it on.
音読みしか問われてないんですけども、一応訓読みに手のひらとか棚心とか司るっていう読み方もあるので、
棚心初耳だ。
手のひらは結構有名なイメージはあるんですけど、もちろん準1級以上の方はね、この辺も含めてしっかり覚えてほしいんですけども、この反証のローっていうのが漢字の意味通り手のひらを
反証のローと言っていますが、ローなくてもたやすいことを表します。棚心を返すこと。棚心を返す。
返す。手のひらを返すぐらいの、もう本当簡単なお仕事っていう意味です。ただこれも、やっぱりカタカナで反証のローっていう風に問題として出題されたら、やっぱ知らないと難しいと思うんだよね。なのでこういうのはしっかり漢検1級受ける人は特に、もう書き問題で出てきてもいいように、しっかりちょっと頭に叩き込んでおくと。
Yeah, I mean, personally, I don't know. I love geeking out on like obscure vocabulary just because some of it is quite fast, especially the histories behind it. Like that, what was it? Odosha o kakeru, which literally means to take, like ritually blessed and purified white sand and put it on something. Except that because there was this belief traditionally that it could soften a hardened cadaver. It was used to mean like to suck up to somebody in order to get them to soften their position.
ちょっと紹介するんですけども、まずこちら。意図するに足る。もう一つが。
意図するに足る。Okay. 意 Okay. So, 偉い意。意図するに足る。十分に称賛する価値がある。まさに偉大であると言える。 意図するに至る功績. Okay, interesting. Actually, this is the first one that I think you could guess without ever having seen it before. Because literally what this means, this nitaru, is the classical Japanese way of saying tariru. Every time you see, like, this riru, kiru, and everything like that, I learned this last night. I was watching a whole playlist of stuff on old Japanese grammar. And it used to be, like, okiru used to be oku. Tariru used to be taru. Akiru used to be aku. And then, for some reason, ki got added to it. I didn't get to the part where he explained why suddenly ki is in there. But anyway, so, nitaru means to be enough for. And I here is the character for, like, great. Like, it is the character you see, for example, that is used in the Ridehan Yongdoja in Korean. That ri is this I. Erai. Idai. In other words, it is a thing that is worthy of praise. That is something that can be said, truly to be said to be great. I mean, that is the first one where the meaning has not been utterly a book with 7 seals. Oh shit. 意図するに足りない Okay, different I. Yeah, Ueda. I, this is I as in kotonaru, as in to be different. So this is not sufficient in order to say it is different. Koto sara fushigi ni omottari, odoroitari suru koto de wa nai. Okay. I don't okay, so the literal meaning and the actual meaning are fairly close in this case, though it isn't a slam dunk by any means. So literally, ito suru ni tarinai means it's not something you could really be surprised about. It is something that is fairly predictable. Koto sara fushigi ni omottari, odoroitari suru koto de wa nai. Something that is not something that is worthy of getting particularly surprised about. 実力からすれば決勝進出は何もいいとするに足りないことだ。Neat. But the reason he's putting these two up is because いいとするに足る and いいとするに足りない are like one, I mean, if you don't have the kanji, the reading is the same. But one is just the negative, and it is a different kanji. One is the kanji for erai, idai, great, and the other is for kotonaru, ihan, different.
めちゃくちゃややこしいんですけど、この言葉。これどっちかというと、日本語検定とか、漢検準1級の5次訂正にすごい出てきそうだなと思いました。まず、意図するに足る時の意っていうのは、これは十分に称賛する価値がある。偉大だねっていうに、足る。
Yeah, same way, same 偉大、위대、위대한 영도자 김종일 동지께서の偉大ですよね。
もう本当にそれぐらいの価値があるっていう時は意図するに足るんですけど。
I learned much of my Korean from North Korean TV.
意図するに足りないっていうと、そんな不思議なことはないっていう意味になるんです。驚くべきことではない。この意って
意図するに足るに関する大問が漢検1級に出ても意図するに足りないもんでしょ。
だから不思議って意味の意なんですけども、別にその意図するに足りなくない、不思議なことじゃなくないっていうような使われ方になるんですね。で、これ意図するに足ると意図するに足りないで、これ別にどっちも入れ替えても意味通じそうな気がするんですよね。相手別に称賛する価値ないよねっていうと。
It got dark outside, so suddenly I'm way redder. Let me fix like suddenly okay, let's adjust that a little bit.
足らないでも良さそうだし、それは確かにめっちゃ不思議だわ、意図するに足りるわって言うと、不思議な状態だよねってなっちゃう気がするんですけども、これ要注意なのは、そもそも、この言葉たちは、もうこういうものなんです。
Yeah, I mean, they sound almost identical. Like, the only thing that is different is that tarinai is the modern one, is the modern way of saying it, and taru is the classical way. So, ito suru ni tarazu would be the more classical way of negating that.
言い方かもしれないですけども、意図するに足るっていう時はもう称賛する価値があるっていう時のこの言葉しかないし、意図するに足りないっていうんだったらもう不思議ではないっていう時のこの意味でしかないんです。でもこれどうなんだろう、誤字訂正で出すのはちょっと難しいのが意味が変わってきちゃうから、もしかしたら書き問題で同音異義語の問題で出る可能性はあるかもしれないですね。もう本当に称賛に値するってなったら、それはやっぱ意図するに足ることだし、別にその驚くことじゃないよねってなったら、意図するに足りないので、ここはちゃんと意味を理解して覚えた方がいいかなと思います。
ややこしいな。
続いてもちょっと同音異義語のパターンで紹介していくんですけども。
Okay, and these are more patterns, because one of the things they test you on this thing is homonyms, homophones, where it sounds the same, but it is totally different. Because the thing is, Sino-Japanese words, just like Sino-Korean words, just like Chinese in general, is full of these. Tonogotoshi, like to. Which to? Oh, it can't possibly be door. It can't, I mean, okay, tonogotoshi.
とですね。例えば、簡単。
と。Yeah, I mean, the puns are a major source of humor, and the. Doroなどがじゃあ、これはほのごとしでいやでもなんだ聞いたことねえよこれ砥石flat as a grindstone. Yeah, I suppose not. Okay, so it means it is like a grindstone. It is as flat as the surface of a grindstone. I literally never seen the term toishi before, so I had to look that up just now.
砥石の砥になります。こちらは砥石の表面のように平らであるっていうような意味ですね。砥のことし。これ淡々たるのこの淡々がね平らって意味があるので、平らなこの砥石の表面のような平らな道っていう時は砥のことし、砥石の砥になってくるんですが、続く砥のごとく。
とのごとし多くの人がつまり探検を巡らしたようである見物人の多い様子に Okay, so there's another one that's pronounced exactly the same way but is a different kanji and of course it means something totally differentとのごとしそのとはAnd if you want to see these, if you one good source for this is Kotobank. OK。移動していく人や、動詞として使える、塞がる。Okay, so this one refers to like blocking.
漢字とお次の周囲に集まったの時のと、これはですね、このアンドのと、かきっていう漢字になるんです。でごめんなさい、このとのごとしはどっちもちょっと準一級の漢字になってしまうので、
Okay, so these are for the intermediate level between level 2 and level 1, apparently. Jesus.
常用漢字ではないんですけども、もう慣用句の中でもどう。
Yeah, like the only way you know this, you know the difference between these two identical expressions is if you know them both. Yeah.
あるってことですね。ただ漢字によって意味が違うので、ちょっとここしっかり注意していきたいんですけども、この下記の方のとのごとしは、多くの人が集まって垣根を巡らしたようである。見物人の多い様子に言う。ということで、実際これはもう漢字のその意味の通りなので、下記のように、垣根のようにですね、人がたくさん集まる様子を言うということで、これに関しては本当に文脈で判断するっていうのがめちゃくちゃ大事ですね。
Yeah, I mean, the only way to go is by context.
これも準1級のもう同音異義の書き問題でも出そうだし、誤字訂正でも出そうなので、これ結構要注意かもしれませんね。とは言っても最近の準1級受けてないので、ちょっと過去問ですでに出てたら、ごめんなさい。で、とのごとしでもう一個ね、要注意なのがあって、それがこの、肝っていう漢字が頭に。
単とのごとし。Okay. So here's another one that sounds almost the same, except it's got 単。単とのごとし。さもが、一等のようである。非常に大胆であることの例え。単とのごとし。Okay. Kimono. Okay, so what this is saying is, okay, that to there is a unit of measurement. And it's saying that this is a very large liver. Because in Japanese and actually in Chinese, I believe as well, this daitan means a big liver, and that means really bold. So tanto no gotoshi means that somebody has a really, really fucking big liver. And that means they're very bold.
ついて、単とのごとしっていうのもあるんです。これが肝が1トマスのように、すごい大きなこと、もう大胆な例えになるんですけども、1トがですね、18リットルぐらい、それぐらいの容積を表す単位になるんですけども、もうめちゃくちゃ肝玉がでかくて、もう大胆な人のことを、あいつはまさに単とのごとしだっていうね、そういう使い方をします。
文字通りの意味も、通用できるんですよね。だってさ、ますます飲んだら肝も大きくなるんだ。飲めば飲むほど大胆にもなり得る。
とのごとしって言っても結構いろんなパターンあるので、こちらも要注意です。覚えておきましょう。あともう一個最後に同音異義語。これもたくさんあるんですけども、死ですね。まず一つ目が死を通ずという。
死を通ず。名詞を出して面会を求める。死を通ず。So, okay. So that is 死 as in 名詞 as in like business cards. So you're passing your business card through in order to try to get somebody to take a meeting, basically.
というところで、こちら名詞を出して面会を求めるという意味なんですけども、これ指すっていう漢字に名札っていう読み方があって、名詞の死が本当にそういう意味なんですけども、これも名札、死を通ずっていうと、その面会を求めるっていうような言葉になるので、まず死という言葉にその名札っていう意味があるんだっていうのも知らなかった人はちょっとここで覚えておきましょう。で、続いてちょっと似てるんだけども、死をいたす。
しをいたす. Except this time, し is as in like a thing that is being done. 間食をやめる. 致死する. 致死って。
こちらが仕事を辞めるということになるんです。これもう準1級以上起きてる人だと、かなりドメジャーな言葉だと思うんですけども、
死をいたす。
致死っていう熟語があるんですね。
Okay, 致死. Okay, here's another like because 致死 also is used with different characters. Well, with the second character, the first character is the same. The second character is not, and it means to cause death. Like in the criminal code, there is what is called 傷害致死, which means like assault resulting in death. But this is 致死 with the 死 of 仕事, or with the 死 of こと。間食を退くこと。退官して隠居すること。古く中国で70歳になると退官を許されたところから70歳の衣装。It also can mean to turn 70 because in China, in ancient China, you could retire from a civil service job at age 70.
これを読み下すと死をいたすになるんですけども、致死っていうのが、これで官職を退くことっていう意味にはなるんですけども、一応これ古代中国で70歳になると退官を許されたところから、70歳の意匠としてもこの言葉があるんですね。なのでこの仕事を辞めるって意味と70歳ってどっちの意味もあるので、なんだろうね、よくこれはね、類義語とか対義語のモデルもめっちゃ出ますね。賢者とか古希とか70を意味する言葉の類義語にもなるし、例えばせっかつ、仕事を始めることの対義語で。
Okay, hang on, I need to move a window because I'm not... Yeah. せっかつ。身分の
でもなるし、この知識って言葉はね、嫌でも出会うので勉強してたら、この二次熟語の状態だと、かなりわかりやすいというか、勉強してる人だとすごいよく見る言葉なんですけども、死をいたすっていう風に呼び下されちゃうと、結構ね、一瞬戸惑っちゃうんじゃないかなと思うんですね。ただね、落ち着いて考えれば、これ知識のことだなってなるので、仕事の死、っていう風に書けばね、これは OK なので、これも同義語で、もしかしたら狙われるんじゃないかなと思って、ちょっと一応紹介させていただきました。で、もう一つは、歯という漢字を使った言葉が、
Okay. This is 死 as in tooth.
例えば、死を没するとか、
死を没する。命が尽きる。死を没するというのは死ぬことだな。だって、命が尽きる。to run out of life. 死する。仲間に加わる。to join one's friends. 同列に並ぶ。to join the ranks of something. 共に死すべきやからにあらず。弱いする。same 漢字。仲間に加わる。同じ程度に並ぶ。
とか。まずこの歯っていう漢字の弱いって意味があるんですね。弱いって年齢のことですね。弱いを没する、死を没するで、要は人生がなくなってしまうみたいな意味があるので、死を没するで死ぬという意味になるし、で、またこの死する、弱いするとも読むんですけども、
Okay, so, I see. So the metaphor, the metaphor is teeth. You are joining the ranks like teeth do.
年齢順に並ぶことを表すんですね。弱いするで死する。年齢順に並ぶっていう意味があって、それと転じて仲間に加わるっていう意味もあるんですね。なので、桃太郎に、犬記事されば死することになったっていうと、仲間に加わったっていうような意味になるので、これも死っていう音一文字なんですけども、いろんな意味があるということで、ちょっとこれも要注意なんですね。あとこれももう一個ちょっと紹介したいんだけども、サライの死っていう言葉もあるんです。ちょっと
サライの死。霊気。さあ、食えと無礼な態度で与える食べ物のこと。さらいの死。Okay, so this is wow, this is a very specific meaning. さらいの死. First of all, the 死 that I had no idea that this existed in Japanese as a reading for that character. Because normally that character is shoku. But of course, in Chinese, 死 is one of the ways you can read it. Sure. But, okay, so literally, sarai no shi means, like, food that is impolitely handed to somebody and just you tell them, like, fucking eat this shit.
漢字ちょっと常用漢字じゃないので、ちょっとこれはスルーでいいんですけども、食って書いて死って読むんです。ちょっとこのさらいっていうのはちょっとスルーするって言ったんですけども、一応意味としては、なんか人に呼びかける時の言葉になるんですけども、なんかさあとか。で、さらいの死って、さあ食えっていうような。
さ as in like, さあ like, come on.
食えっていう。そんな無礼な態度で食べ物をこう渡すとか投げかけるみたいなそういう意味のサライの死って言葉があって、一応サライの食とも読むんですけども、サライの死とも読むので、もしかしたらこのサライの死を狙って同音異語で何パターンか問題出される可能性もあるんじゃないかなと思って紹介しました。あれごめん。
Oh god, there would be some great puns to be had there. Because if you have like 紳士の死、サライの死、referring to like somebody who is skilled in the art of impolitely urging people to do things.
ちょっとあともう一個紹介したいな。ちょっと一級範囲なので少しマイナーなんですけども、屍って漢字でね、寝るに死せずっていうのがあるんですね。
寝るに死せず。
一文字なんですけども、寝るに死せずっていうのは、なんか死んだように眠るべきじゃないっていう戒めの言葉。この屍ってことは、
okay. 寝るに死せず is like shaming people for the way they look when they sleep. Like it's saying that it refers to like not sleeping in a way that you look like you died because because apparently because like the posture of dead people is cringe is the underlying idea. 寝るに死せず。
皆さん聞いたことあるんじゃないかなと思います。なんか返事がない、ただの屍のようだ。ということで、死体を指す言葉なんですけども、寝るに死せずっていうと、もうほんと屍のように寝るべきじゃないっていう意味になるので、これは一級を受ける予定のある人は、しっかりマークしておくべきかなと思います。ちょっと多くなっちゃうんですけども、まとめると、死を通ず。これ名詞を出して面会を求める。死をいたす。これ知死のことですね。仕事を辞めること。で、死を没す。で、これは死ぬこと。で、死する、弱いするだとこれ仲間になること。で、さらいの死だと、食えっつって無礼な態度で食べ物を与えるってこと。で、寝るに死せずだと、死んだように寝るんじゃないっていうことで、この死、怒涛の死の連発ですね。
So each one of these is a different
死ぬって意味があるから、なんか、死ぬっていう感じで言っちゃいそうなんだけど、これボスだからね。
Yeah, I mean, each one of these is a different shi, and there are like a million other ways you can write shi with kanji. And this is one of the things they try to trip people up with in the kanken.
年齢を没するなので、弱いを没する。はっていう感じですね。これもちょっと間違いないね。注意しましょう。いやー、ちょっとまだまだ紹介したいな。いろいろあるな。ごめんなさい。じゃあちょっとラストに、ちょっとこれもね、結構僕衝撃受けたやつがあって、紹介したいんですけども、かがなべてですね。これ、
かがなべて。かがなべて。聞いたことねえわ。かがなべて。かがなぶの連用形接続助して日数を重ねてかがなべてlike the days are passing basically かがなべて夜にはここの世日には10日を
これ全部常用漢字で構成されてるんだけど、なかなか読めないと思います。かがなべて。僕はね、読めない。
He says that he could not read it without actually looking it up, which is true because ka is an uncommon way to read the kanji for day. It is almost always hi or nichi or bi. Ka. The only time I've ever seen ka as a reading is in names. So ka ga nabete.
ただ使われてる漢字自体難しくないので、しっかり覚えちゃえばね、問題はないかなと思います。これ、かがなべてっていうのは
I mean, this is a hard reading despite the fact that literally none of these kanji is difficult. Like, all of these are kanji that they teach in primary school, I think. But the readings are totally wrong. Totally just obscure as hell.
一数を重ねてという意味になるんですけども、重ねてあの人に会いに行ったとか、そんな感じで使われるかなと思います。この重ねてもしかしたら出るとしたら書き問題とか、もしかしたら文章題で読み問題も、なくはなさそうですね。これまで漢字自体は難しくないので、知らなくてちょっと落としちゃったということがないようにですね、しっかり頭に入れておいていただきたいと思います。ということでちょっといろいろと紹介しすぎてね、長くなってしまった気もするんですけども、今回紹介したのは本当に僕が勉強した中の本当に
Okay. So I'm gonna just... we've got like 15 minutes to go. Let's look at another of these. Okay. Kanji 2級語彙力を学べ. That's the one we just looked at. 熟語の構成. This is about compounds.
はい、どうも、じゃあ、
漢字の神さん. Okay, drop the link in chat.
今回ですね、熟語の構成の超実践編ということで、またこちらの過去問です。
Okay, this is level 2.
理系の過去問。
Okay, the Kanji Kente Association publishes these books of tests from previous years.
5回分が収録されているこの冊子を使って過去問の中の熟語の構成だけ切り取ってちょっと今回解説していこうと思います。
So this is about forming compounds, like the structure of
なんで
compounds.
これやろうと思ったかというと、その熟語の構成の動画のコメントのところにあるリクエストが届きまして、熟語の構成の過去問をどんどん解いてほしいですみたいな内容のねコメントいただきましたの
So
で。
he's going to be looking at previous questions on the subject of the structure of compounds and commenting them. So that should be interesting.
やっていこうかなという感じです。で、この冊子なんですけど、これも前の動画で実は使ったことあって、なので今回は問題を解いていくというよりかは、もう答え全部知ってるし、一回もう解いたことある問題たちですので、一応今回は解説だけにとどめておこうかなと思います。超実践編とね、銘打ってはいますけども、実際にはただ解説していくだけ。ただ見てるだけでもめちゃくちゃ勉強になると、指摘とか、いろんな。
Okay, so see, one of the kinds of questions they will ask you is, they will give you a compound, and you have to decide whether it is a compound. There are like 5 basic types of compounds, of kanji compounds. One is 2 roughly synonymous characters put together. One is 2 characters with roughly opposite meanings put together. Another is the first character is modifying the second, adding like descriptive value to it. The fourth is something that the first character cancels out the meaning of the second character. So, and then there's also the top character. The first character is the second character is the direct object of the first character, essentially. So we have Zui, Mirai, Shiseki, Oukan, Senjo,
難しい熟語を見るだけでね、なかなかハードルが高そうな熟語たちが並んでおりますけども、一問一問ね、ゆっくり考えていったら、全然難しい問題はそこまでないので、しっかり解説して。
So you have to choose which of these it is. Like, so you have 上の字が下の字の意味を打ち消しているもの。例えば、未来。その未が、来の意味を打ち消している。It is negating it. For example, and those almost always start with fu, mu, or mi, which are all negatives. Mi being not yet, and then mu being there isn't, and fu being it's not, essentially.
一度自分でもゆっくり解きたいという方は、このまま画面止めていただいて、ちょっとじっくりチャレンジしてみてください。それではね、解説の方を始めていきます。まず1問目の随ですけども、これは答え。
So he, in this other video, the first of his that I just watched it last night, he was explaining that one way to answer these is by using the kunyomi. So you break it down, you use the kunyomi and try to understand it from that. So in this case, for example, with zui, you have I ni shitagau. In other words, following the meaning or intention of zui. So that would be mokuteki wo, an object of.
下の字が同じの目的語法になっているパターンです。これ一文字目の字が難しいですけど、これ従うっていう意味があるんです。意に従うっていう風に下から上に読めるので、随答えは円になります。続いて2問目未来ですね。
打ち消す、it negates。
これは答えをになります。上の字が下の字を打ち消しているということですね。これ前の動画でも説明した通り、一文字目にひ、ふ、み、むがついてたらもう答えをになるので、これが今回ね、否定の言葉ということでおでした。続いて3問目です。
叱責、どちらも同じ意味。yeah, okay, so that one is a sum.
叱責ですね。これ答え、あになります。これね、どちらの漢字も同じ意味の言葉ですね。叱ると責める。で、どちらも怒って相手のことを責めたり。
Yeah, so on these you don't have to say what they mean, what the characters each mean, but you have to know them. Because the only way you can actually decide whether the structure is, which of these structures it is out of the 5 options, is if you know what each of them means. So like okan is 2 opposites, going, leaving, and returning.
するということで叱責、似た意味になりますね。これもね、まだそこまでひねりがないので簡単な方かなと思います。続いて4問目、これ答え、いですね。王冠。この王冠って言葉は人々の行き来っていう意味になります。これ一文字で行くって読みますし、王道の王にも使われているように行くっていう意味があります。で、冠っていうのが帰ってくることですね。
Yeah.
巡るとか回るっていう風に読みますけども、こう出発したものが巡る。
I mean, this is a useful thing in general. If you understand the way these structures work, that can be really helpful in making first of all, in making created compounds yourself, because people often will just make them up. If you know the structures, it isn't hard. But it's also, in terms of understanding the meaning, if you understand that when it's an opposite, when you have these where there are these opposites being brought together, like ukan, which is going and returning, it generally indicates an action, a concept that encompasses both of them. So another example that is kote. Kote, ko, takai, high, te, hikui, low. And when you have those together, what you're saying is something that encompasses both highness and lowness. For example, pitch, kote accento. High-low accent, pitch accent, stuff like that. And if you, the more you understand this, the more you can also guess at the meaning when you run across a compound you haven't seen before.
で、帰ってくることを漢、この漢字一文字で表しています。なので、行くことと帰ってくること。これね、反対の意味のことが使われてますね。なので、選択肢いからしてくれ。続いて5問目、世情ですけども、これ答え A でですね、下の字が同じの目的語。
情を施す。
っていうのも、これ下から上に読めるんですね。これ情を施すっていう風に読めるので、下から上に読めますね。情を施すっていうのは釘を締めるっていう意味ですね。これもそこまで難しくないかなと思います。はい、続いて徴用ですね。これ答えい、反対の意味の漢字が使われています。っていうのも、これね、長っていうのは、長男とか長女にも使われているように、一番上っていう意味が。
So, okay.
で、幼っていうのは、幼子。ということは、まだ幼い下の子のイメージがありますよね。一番上の子と一番下の子ということで、反対の言葉ですね。なので、投げを上げることっていう言葉の意味を。
上等。Okay, let's see. Just skip ahead a bit. 財閥. Okay, that would be, yeah. 就職している. 就職 is like modifying.
もうその時の僕は頭が回ってたということで、悔しい問題です。はい、続 続いて伴侶の問題ですけども、これは答えあ、どちらも似たような言葉になります。まず伴侶っていうのは、生涯付き添っていくことの人、夫婦のことを言いますね。これ伴も両も共にっていう意味があるんですよ。なのでこれどちらも共に
They both mean together. So this is synonyms. See, I mean, it's really they kind of test every single aspect of knowing kanji in this thing.
を表しているわけですね。これはね、そこまで難しいんじゃないかなと思います。はい、続いての問題、不妊。
不妊、yeah. 認知に赴く. So, yeah, I mean, that is 目的語. That is, one is the object. It's like a riot.
これ答え A になります。下から読みますね。ここにも書いてますけども、認知に赴くということで、そのまま下から読めるんですけども、これね、なぜか間違えちゃうんですよね。まだこれ
Yeah, partner, exactly.
だから認知に赴くとしても読めないですよね。不妊っていう言葉自体もそういう意味があるんですけども、なんかこれ何かで間違えてるんですよ。はい。これで今のところ4ぐらいかな、間違えて。ちょっと気にせずね、次に行きましょう。続いて因果です。
因果 Okay, that would be, yeah, opposites. It refers to, like, for example, in is like cause and ga is result. Inga kanke is the most common way you'll see this, and it means like a causal relationship.
ね、これ答え因になります。反対の意味の言葉を書きます。というのは、因果っていうのは原因と結果っていう意味があるんですね。これよく因果関係とかで耳にすることありかなと思いますけども、因果関係の因果っていうのもある何か。
6章。要旨。要旨理論。是什么？ I know 六法 but I've not heard of 六章。
があったせいでこういうことが起きた。だから原因があってその結果がこうなったっていうことを表しますよね。なのでこの因果っていうのは原因と結果という言葉でも使われるように反対の意味を持つ漢字詞になるんですね。続いて悲鳴ですね。これ答えうになる。
悲鳴。一踏みに明記する。
これね、ここにも書いてあるように
目的語。
一踏みに明記するということで上から下に読める一文になりますのでうになります。これ一文字目石踏みって読むんですね。これもね、石踏みっていう言葉自体を知っていればそこまで難しくないかなと思います。続いて不詳という問題ですけども、これはね。
Yeah, I mean, so this is obviously 打ち消す negation, because every time you see ふ、む、に、ぶ, it is always negation.
否定シリーズですね。ひ、ふ、み、むのふが使われてます。なので、これ答えを見ながら。続いて、誘拐という熟語ですけども、これ答え、あれですね。どちらも似たようになります。組み合わせにすると、これ解ける。これも解ける。なので、どちらも解ける。ということで、誘拐っていう言葉は何かが解ける様を表す言葉なので、答え、あれになります。
ああ。
では、最後の問題、走破です。これ答えは、えになりますね。これどういうことかというと、覇者を争う。
Okay, and now it is time to wrap up. I hope everybody enjoyed the stream. Thank you for joining in. And if you like this sort of thing, I can do more of it. I would totally be up for doing more of this. Just let me know. And if you enjoy the stream and would like to support the stream, that is always much appreciated. And that you can do it by going to my Patreon page. Or and either of those is always much appreciated. It helps me continue doing this by helping me continue going on in general. Always as so, and I will be back on Friday at 4:30 p.m. US Eastern Time, and I look forward to seeing you then. Have a good night. And check out the Discord. I will probably be finding more interesting resources on the subject. And if you also got like kanji related questions and stuff like that, drop that in the Discord too. We can talk about them there, and they might be ideas for like future videos and streams and stuff.